I'm going to a match at every round of this season's Champions League. Tonight I'm in Barcelona to see them take on Borussia Dortmund in the quarter-finals.
Other than their 2-1 loss to Monaco on the opening day of the league phase, Barcelona have looked strong throughout this season's competition. They've scored 32 goals, which is the most of any team so far this season. Dortmund have scored the second most amount of goals though, with 28, so we could see a high-scoring game. But I did watch Dortmund play away at Sporting Club de Portugal in the playoff round, and for the first half of that match, they were second best until they managed to score their first goal and momentum switched around. So I reckon we're going to see a narrow Barcelona 3-2 win. Anyway, I've spent enough time sitting by the pool, drinking a few beers. It's time to get to the match and see Lamine Yamal cause a madness tonight. I'm so excited to see him play football.
Barcelona aren't playing in their traditional home ground this season, Camp Nou. It's still under redevelopment at the moment, and I think it's going to be for next season as well. So last season, this season and next season, they're playing their football in the 1992 Olympic Stadium instead, just the other side of the city. So it's actually really fun walking around this Olympic Park and just seeing all the different venues that they used in the 92 Olympics, and they're still being used today by athletes to train and practice and compete. So it's not really a proper Barcelona atmosphere that we're going to get this evening. And it's also not going to be a proper Barcelona view. Because it is an Olympic stadium, we are miles away from the pitch. I feel like, I don't know how I'm going to see anything at the other end of the pitch when the ball's at that far side. It also makes the pitch look a lot smaller because you're so further away as well. It's just really quite bizarre. So, view not the best. At least view of the pitch. Behind me is just a glorious view of Barcelona. It's a really, really cool spot. I didn't realise how high up the stadium was in Barcelona, so you just get amazing views across the city.
After checking out my view, I got myself a sandwich and a drink. Full food review coming at the end of the video. I do regret not getting the Barcelona branded popcorn. I'm directly opposite the Dortmund fans, who have again travelled in huge numbers for this game. Some have managed to get into the home end in full home kit. Not quite sure how that happened. Although not long after that, he was made to remove his Dortmund shirt and just wear a jacket. But I am really surprised he was actually allowed to stay in the stadium.
So this is my first time at a Barcelona match, and I'm really excited to see this team play. I just don't understand how Barcelona can just bring out a few kids from La Masia and they are like the best players in the world immediately. It's just insane to me how they do that time and time and time again. It's incredible.
There's 5 players starting tonight for Barcelona who came through La Masia at some stage, which must lead to an insanely tight dressing room atmosphere when you're literally playing with guys you've known since childhood. Dortmund, on the other hand, have a pretty young attack, and from an English perspective, I'm excited to see what Gittins and Chukwuemeka can do, and if they can unlock Barcelona's defence. If you think you're as good at scouting players as La Masia, you should try Sorare and have a chance of winning cash from a $20,000 prize pool if you can score 350 plus points. It's totally free to play, but you can buy a card to get a 20% boost for that player's score. So I'm actually going to use Hugo Ekitike because there's no way he's not scoring past Spurs. You can enter a team up to 30 minutes before kickoff to make sure all your players are starting. I've also been able to get you guys a special discount as we're heading to the end of the season. So players like Dembele and Kimmich are now around €30, and you can pick up Mbappe for around €50, which is a massive discount on their usual price. So use my affiliate link in the description to sign up for Sorare and get rewarded for your football knowledge by entering the Best of Europe competition for free to be in with a chance of winning a share of $20,000.
We are about 5-6 minutes in. I think Barca have had 4 shots already. They're all over Dortmund already, and Lamine Yamal is the guy who's running the show on this right-hand side of the pitch. He's skinned the left back several times already.
Despite all of Barca's possession though, they couldn't really create any clear-cut chances from open play, and the game wasn't particularly exciting.
I was about to say this game's been really boring. It's been all Barcelona, 80% possession. Dortmund kind of happy to sort of sit in a low block and stop Barca from actually doing much at all in the penalty area, and then suddenly goal. So we'll take that 1-0, 26 minutes or so in. It's now half-time, and since Barca scored, it's actually been more Dortmund, to be fair. They've had a decent few number of chances in the penalty area, a couple shots on goal. The best chance they had was the ball was given to Garassi about 8 yards from goal. He's bang centre as well, swings to take a shot, misses the ball. I don't know how a professional footballer does that in that situation, I don't know, but that if he just connected, it's a goal. So that could have been a really interesting point in the game to make things a bit more exciting, but they have been the better side since Barca scored, so we'll see. I also love how steep this stadium is. Like, Spanish stadiums are always really steep, so normally you feel like you're on top of the pitch because they're so steep. Obviously this it'll really help when you are about a mile from the pitch. Barcelona, it's a really well-worked goal to foul.
So Lamine Yamal crossed the ball from the right-hand side of the pitch to the far post, Rafinha headed it back across goal, and Lewandowski heads it in from about half a yard out.
It's 3-0! It all starts with Lamine Yamal threading an amazing pass through to the on-running attacker, I don't know who it was, and they put the ball across into the middle, and it's a great goal. Oh, Lamine Yamal is something special. I cannot get over how good he is. So good. And Lamine Yamal has got his goal. He deserves it. He has been the best player on the pitch. I've enjoyed watching every single second of him. He is so good. He's 17 years old, for God's sake. He is so good.
And that is full time here, after what has been a really entertaining second half from Barcelona.
A very deserved victory. They were a class above Dortmund for a vast majority of that game. Dortmund had a few chances, but just didn't really create anything much from it. Lamine Yamal, best player on the pitch for me. He's just so exciting to watch because every time he gets the ball, he tries to do something with it. He dribbles with it. He tries to do a clever flick past someone. Like, he's so entertaining to watch. And 9 times out of 10, it actually comes off and works really well. So he's just incredible. Loved watching him tonight. He was my man of the match. And I can't really see a way for Dortmund to get back into this in Germany. I know it's a different beast, obviously playing in the Signal Iduna Park, but I just can't see how they score 5 next week and turn this one around. So I think that pretty much confirms for me Barcelona are going to be in the semi-finals and are looking very, very dangerous. And if they can play like that again next week, and then in 2 semi-final games in the final, they'll win it. They're really, really good. So how would I rate my experience then? Well, we'll start off with the food. There were loads of food options actually, mostly kind of like sandwich and burger sort of things. So I got this sandwich with some like Spanish Serrano ham in it and things like that. It was nice enough, it was okay. I had a Fanta as well, that was quite nice. No alcohol in the stadium, so Fanta was really lovely. Nothing special though, the bread was really good. Sandwich a little bit dry, but the bread was really good. I love bread. So I'm gonna go for a 3 on the food. As for the stadium, well, It's got a big running track around the outside. I was miles away. I had to have binoculars to be able to actually see anything really. And it is a cool stadium. It's basically like a small old Camp Nou, because obviously they're redeveloping it now, but it looks very, very similar to Camp Nou, just with a running track around the outside. I'll go 2.5 on the stadium. Nothing amazing, really. As for the atmosphere, I was actually really surprised by it. I didn't really know there was an ultras group. Well, there probably is, but cause it's not their home stadium, right? They're all over the place doing different things. So there was loads of noise from different places around the ground, which I thought was really cool. And I was in and amongst quite an active bit, to be fair. A lot of people around starting chants. Some guys in front of me, really passionate fans. They're really cool to see. So I'm going to give the atmosphere a 4 here. I was really pleasantly surprised. One of the best I've seen at one of these Champions League games. As for my enjoyment as well, you know what? I've had a really, really nice time in Barcelona. It's a really cool city. The weather has been beautiful. I think partly because it's been such good weather, warm. Like yesterday I was sunbathing on the roof terrace at the hotel. I've just felt really happy. So I'm going to give it a 4 on the enjoyment scale. So we've got an overall score, I think, of 13.5.
That puts Barcelona 5th in our table of games we've been to so far this season, level on points with Monaco, but Monaco goes ahead because I had more fun in Monaco, giving it 5 stars there. So we have just 2 rounds to go, the semi-finals and the final. It's going to be ridiculously hard and probably very expensive to get tickets for those games. So we'll see how we do. If you're a sponsor of any of these teams or the Champions League itself, please do get in contact. It would make life a lot easier for me. If you want to catch up with any of the videos from the series so far, the playlist is on the screen for you right now. Give it a click and you'll be able to go and see all the videos that we've done, all the teams that we've seen, and give your favourite team a watch and see how we rated the experience.